I'll tell you what, my little man's got good taste in reggae, doesn't he?
Yeah.
866-509-RAT, 866-509-7268. Marlon Oliver Miller, Reggae Bumper Music Wednesday. That's Sweet Jamaica by Ninja Man.
I love Ninja Man.
And Carolla, an honorary Rasta, if I'm not mistaken. Often in the sidecar with Usain Bolt as they make a run into Kingston for fortifications. I admire this cat immensely. Really funny guy and a bit of a trailblazer business-wise. I want to see how he's doing out there in the digital world. This is the great Adam Carolla. Carolla, what's up?
Thanks, Dennis.
How's life, my friend? I saw an article on your house, man, and I dug the car in the. I don't know how you got it in there, but the car in the house was a cool move, man.
Yeah, it's a clear overcompensation. I just basically grew up poor in the valley, and I grew up in a bunch of crappy apartments with no garage and using a butter knife for a flathead screwdriver. And so when I got out of the valley and made a few bucks, I just went nuts. I guess I did with cars and tools what a lot of nerdy guys, especially agents, do with women. They didn't get much in high school, and now they're overcompensating. Remember, you ever go to CAA or William Morris Agency and just see all those guys were the biggest nerds in their high schools,
Yes.
wearing $500 shoes
Yes.
and talking up the ladies?
Yeah. Well, that being said, I think Carrot Top has defined the perimeter line of overcompensation because I don't know what's happening out there. But we're talking to Adam Carolla, the website, adamcarolla.com. And Adam out on the road, I'm telling you, this is one of the most inventive comedy minds on the planet Earth right now. Friday, September 10th at the Moore Theater. That's Moore Theater in Seattle. Saturday, September 11th at the Aladdin Theater in Portland. The first show's sold out already. Obviously, tickets for the second show now available. Friday, September 17th at the El Portal Theater in North Hollywood. And tickets available at adamcarolla.com. If it's anywhere near me, I'm going to see it because this cat makes me laugh out loud, and his stream of consciousness is as funny as anybody's in the business. New book, it'll be released in November already. I'm chortling. I just have the title, In 50 Years We'll All Be Chicks. Give me the Kirkus review on it, baby. Flesh the book out a little for me.
Well, I think you and I are both parents and we're both sort of concerned in the direction the needle is pointing in this country, and I'm sure my daughter will have six-pack abs and be well-versed in MMA, and I'm sure my son, by the way, I now know my son is going to be gay well in advance. I'm just praying he's a top. It's called managing your expectations. I've already come to terms and made peace with the fact that I'm going to meet his boyfriend somewhere around his junior year of college.
Sure.
I just want him to be the alpha gay. I'm working with him. But it's just taking something like peanut butter being outlawed, peanuts being outlawed from every grade school.
Yes, because there are certain kids.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I had this thought the other day, Dennis. I think you'd probably appreciate it. I actually Googled it. There's hundreds of elementary schools named after George Washington Carver, and I bet at least 80% of those have outlawed peanuts. This would be like you naming your school Wayne Gretzky Middle School and cutting the hockey program.
Yes, there you go. And you know what? I'm not even sure the kids realize the irony. Do they even know who George Washington Carver is anymore?
I think they probably think it's Dr. J. You mean Dr. G? No.
Oh, it's unbelievable how wussified we've gotten. And as the Prez continues to lead us down the road to wussification, I'm getting a heavy Urkel vibe off the Prez lately when I see him in the shorts out on the golf course.
True, we got to get him in those suspenders and really hike up those trousers and see what we can get. Yeah, I mean, these sort of speeches these politicians make where it's like, I want to live in a country where kids can be educated and where people have a job and where it's not illegal to hug your grandparents. Oh, really? Because the Republicans are dead set against all those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. Stop blowing wind up us.
Yeah, well, it used to be Wind Baby. Now it's a Cat 4 they're blowing up our ass. We're talking to Adam Carolla. The new book will be released in November. In 50 years, we'll all be chicks. A lot of tour dates coming up. Adam Carolla, that's CAROLLA.com. Get thee to a ducat. How are you? I don't know. You're a homeschooler? How are you going to raise your kids in a society you mostly disagree with, Adam? What's your plans, Dan?
I'll tell you the one thing that saved me was Pop Warner football.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is we don't want our kids to play Pop Warner football now because at some point you're going to dislocate a finger, and at some point you're going to get a concussion.
Right.
And that's too much for rich white parents to bear. But my feeling is, and I'm going to have this argument with my wife when she gets back from the cuticle push, I want the finger will heal. The wounds heal. The dislocations,
yes.
the broken bones, the fractures, those heal. But being a puss, that's a lifetime sentence.
You aren't kidding, man.
And I would rather my kid take a cleat to the thigh and get kicked around a little, or just have to ride the pine. Just a humbling experience. I mean, just the notion of I played 10 years of organized football. I never touched a football one time. I just blocked for other guys who were trying to get laid. It sucks, but I learned something from it. And I think not keeping score and giving everyone the participation trophy and all that stuff is obviously a horrific idea.
No, we're breeding emotional hemophiliacs, man. A whole group of soft kids are going to get out there and run into their first ball-buster boss and have absolutely no idea. Because
in the book, everyone wants to know, and I touch on it, where everyone wants to know, what have we done? What have we introduced? Why are kids so fat, soft, and lazy? And they say, well, it's junk food. But McDonald's was around when we were a kid. And by the way, they didn't serve apples at the McDonald's. If I walked into a McDonald's and there was an apple in there when I was 9, I would have started just throwing punches at the closest person I could find. And it's not video games. It's all this stuff has been around for 30 or 40 years.
What is it then? What is it?
I think we stopped judging.
Yes.
We stopped making fun of the one fat kid that was in the class, and now there's one skinny kid in every class. And we took down the gym rope. Remember the gym rope?
Oh, the key to it all.
With that rope, you couldn't make it up it. Everyone would be yelling at you. Your scrotum was exposed. It was humiliating. And that was the point. So we took the gym ropes down from the gymnasium, but we didn't take them down from society, like the boss, the relationship, all that.
You're
it's
right.
still there. It's just invisible.
We're not prepping them, baby. They take out Dodgeball out of the curriculum, and I've often thought, isn't life pretty much one big protracted 75-year episode of getting hit in the balls with one thing or another? I mean, what are we doing to these kids? We're denuding them. We're talking to Adam Carolla, one of the last men standing in this world, and the guy who I am most glad is out there on this podcast thing, because here's the thing. Carolla's product is so state-of-the-art that everybody like me who says, what's out there in the new media way? The guy who's out there in the icebreaker is the most talented guy. So we'll know if this doesn't work with Carolla, it's an unworkable business model, because this guy, pound for pound, it's like the pound for pound fighter thing, pound for pound, the leanest cat out there right now, the Floyd Mayweather of jabbering. How's it going out there in that world?
I've been called the Manny Pacquiao fart joke.
That's an honor, baby. How is it going out there on the front line, though?
I'll tell you, the podcast thing is starting to work. We're generating commercials and income, and we're using it as a tool to sell out theaters.
Good for you,
travel
Adam.
around.
Good for you,
and
man.
Sell books and coffee mugs and so forth. But it's working as a model. It's basically give people a good product, do it for free for a while, and then weave in a couple commercials and ask them to buy a hoodie.
Yeah, well, this is great product, man. I think this guy's the state of the art. Really, Brian Regan is a stand-up comedian. Carolla is a radio performer.